Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Foodies. I'm your chef Daniela, and in today's video we're going to be making challah. So let's get started. For your ingredients, you're gonna need a cup and a half of lukewarm water. This is a fourth cup that I set aside. 1/3 cup of honey. 4 large eggs plus 1 more for the egg wash. 1 teaspoon of sugar, some sea salt, 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Then you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of canola oil, or you can use avocado oil. 4.5 cups to 6 cups of all-purpose flour, sifted. And you could use a stand mixer, but this is optional with the dough hook. To start off, we're gonna add the yeast to a 1/4 cup of water. Then we're gonna add the sugar. And we're gonna whisk it all together with a tiny whisk, just a little bit to combine it. Now I'm gonna let this sit for 10 minutes for the yeast to activate. So my yeast has just rised for 10 minutes, and now I'm gonna add the remainder of the water. I'm gonna crack 1 egg. And I'm gonna use So I'm gonna transfer this mixture into the mixer, and I'm gonna begin, and I'm gonna start mixing, and I'm gonna add the flour a little bit at a time. My dough is still a little bit sticky, so I'm gonna slowly add more flour as needed. I'll get back to you guys when this is all done. So I took my dough out and I floured the surface, and now I'm just gonna knead it until it feels right. So my dough is all finished. I finished kneading it, and now I'm going to oil this bowl. I'm gonna put some on my hands, and I'm just gonna go over the bowl and oil it so that way the dough doesn't stick. Make sure the whole thing is oiled, and then you place in your dough. I placed some water in a pot, and I'm gonna wait for the water to boil, and then I'm gonna place the pot on the lower rack of my oven, and I'm gonna place the dough on a rack above. Dough has been in the oven, like just rising, for about an hour and a half, and now I'm just gonna punch some holes to deflate it, and I'm gonna cover it and put it back in the oven for an hour. So my dough has finished rising, and I took it out, and now I'm gonna divide it into 4 pieces, but first I'm gonna flour my surface. I'm gonna grab this separator. So
I'm gonna take a little bit from these two because they're pretty big. I'm gonna work with one of them for now. So first, you're gonna roll it out with a rolling pin. Also, you wanna flatten your rolling pin so it doesn't stick.
I finished braiding the challah, and I put it on top of a baking pan that's lined with parchment paper. And then I'm gonna make an egg wash, and this is 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of cold water, and half a teaspoon of salt. And now I'm just gonna mix it. Now I'm gonna brush the challah with this egg mixture. You want to leave some so we can put it on when it's midway cooked. I'm gonna let this rise for another 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And after 45 minutes, I'm gonna put it in. So my challah has been in the oven for 20 minutes. And now I'm gonna coat it with a thin layer of the leftover egg wash right in the middle. Just like in the lighter spots. This is so they can darken up a little bit. Not too much egg wash. And now I'm gonna put it back in the oven. And if it starts to brown a little too much, I'm gonna put some tin foil on top of it, and I'm just gonna cook it like that for the leftover time. So my challah bread is all done. Let me give you guys a close-up. Ooh, looks like this. I didn't end up covering it with tin foil because I liked it when it's a little bit crispy. And now I'm going to give it a taste test. So I'll cut it here. Ooh, that looks really good. It's still a little bit hot. I want to try it hot. That's so good. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Crazy Foodies. See you guys next week. Bye.